9 News Mornings at 5 a.m. starts right now.
Good morning. Let's take a live look outside right now from our Horsetooth Reservoir camera up in Fort Collins just before the sun rises this morning, sitting at 75 degrees. Jordan wishes he could just pause the temperature right now.
Bring the sun up. Give me that sunny at 75. It's a perfect day.
Not going to happen. Back to the 90s today, y'all. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey Rose.
And I'm Jordan Chavez. Good morning, everybody. This is why my outdoor activities have to happen at 5 a.m., especially this time of year. This is the time when you're going to get your PSL maybe at that point. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Let's get a closer look at that forecast now with senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi back from Alaska. Chris, this heat must feel very different for you right now.
I was just going to say, Jordan, you just said, I was just in Alaska. That was primo Jordan weather up there.
Steve, take me with you next time.
It was, honestly, it was nice. It was in the kind of 50s, 60s the whole time, and kind of had that sweatshirt. It felt like fall up there, and it was kind of, the skies were moody. I love that part of it, though. You went a little inland. I went up to McCarthy, and that's where it was kind of 75, 80 degrees. But in Anchorage, it was kind of cloudy, drizzly. Meantime, not exactly cloudy, drizzly for us, though we do have some clouds overhead. The story right now, though, those warm temperatures, we do have some rumbles of thunder out here across the eastern plains. Those are dissipating as we speak. Temperatures, the story, though, 75 for us right now across the metro area. Again, very warm for this point in the morning. Later on today, 93. Afternoon showers and storms after 3 p.m. Tomorrow, though, a notable cool down, not quite PSL weather, Jordan, sorry, but we are talking about some cooler temperatures tomorrow and for your Thursday. I'll have details on those and a look at a warm up this weekend. All that coming up, my full forecast. Erica.
All right, Chris, thank you and welcome back. Unpopular opinion, y'all, but I'm down for an ice PSL like all day in the summertime. I don't know. I think that's an unpopular opinion. Y'all let me know. It is 5:02. We want to help you get out the door right now with a live look at I-70 and Lookout Mountain, where we do have eastbound road work from overnight that is not quite clear. It's expected to clear by 6 o'clock this morning, so we've got one far right lane open and moving at this hour. A little bit of an onlooker delay situation on the westbound side. Yesterday, we were dealing with this opposite. We had westbound overnight road work lingering, causing some slowdowns. And this is just kind of that typical summer pattern where we have a lot to get done on our roadways when things are just a little bit quieter. And of course, the weather's a lot better. Let's take you over now to our map and check in. Zooming into where we were just looking live from our CDOT camera this morning, that road work happening between Genesee and Golden right around Lookout Mountain. So a little bit of a slowdown through that area, nothing too significant. Hopefully we clear by 6 and we don't see any crazy delays out that way, but westbound I-70 in the metro between E470 and 76 in good shape. You've got the green light and a 13-minute drive time.
All right, Erica, thank you. Well, right now, Lakewood Police need your help finding 2 armed robbery suspects. This happened nearly 2 months ago on May 27th at the Sephora near West Alameda and Wadsworth. Police say the suspects went into the store and put some stuff into a bag. An employee tried to stop them from leaving, but one of the suspects, the one in a black jacket with stripes across, hit the employee. They then ran out of the store and drove off. The getaway car was a white Jeep Grand Cherokee with black rims and no license plate. Anyone with information is asked to call Lakewood Police. That number is 303-987-7277.
Also right now, police are investigating a hit-and-run crash that killed a person on a bike. It happened near West 38th Avenue and Tejon Street in Denver's Sunnyside neighborhood. We've asked police if they have any information about the car or driver involved. We're still waiting for an answer.
New this morning, a man is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a shooting in a northeast Denver parking lot. This happened just before 10 last night at an apartment complex near First Avenue and Havana Street in Aurora. Officials say that the victim did not live there but was meeting someone in the lot when the shots were fired. Another man with him at the time ran from the scene but later returned and spoke with officers. Investigators are working to figure out what led to the shooting. Anyone with information is asked to call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. Their number is 720-913-7867.
An 18-year-old is in custody this morning accused of attacking 2 family members. It happened just before midnight at an apartment complex. One woman died at the scene, another was seriously hurt, but deputies got there in time to give her emergency care and likely saved her life. They found the suspect, Messiah Williams, in a field about a mile away and took him into custody. He's now facing murder and attempted murder charges. The second woman was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but is expected to survive. Investigators are still working to figure out what led up to the attack.
Right now, Colorado school districts finally have a fraction of the federal funding that the Trump administration withheld. But those districts say that they are still down $60 million, and the school year starts soon. 90's reporter Brianna Fernandez is live in Denver this morning. Brianna, how much did the U.S. Department of Education release to the state?
So almost $13 million, and that money will help school districts when it comes to providing after-school programming for kids. But funding for other programs or even to retain and recruit teachers, that money is still frozen. So now what school districts are having to do is that they're having to look at their budget once again. At the end of June, districts nationwide were told that the Trump administration was freezing $6 billion in federal funding for title programming. For Colorado, that equaled more than $76 million, including $10 million for Denver Public Schools. Right now, DPS is $6 million short. So the two programs that are still at risk are Title II and Title III under the Every Student Succeeds Act. Chuck Carpenter, Denver Schools chief financial officer, says with $6 million down, they're not changing their budget just yet. But if those funds stay in the red, tough choices need to be made.
The federal title programs are really targeting money to where the students that really need it, students of poverty, students learning English, teacher training, enrichment. This is the kind of stuff that the federal government traditionally stepped in to bolster. And, that's unfortunately at this moment in time, it's not what we're feeling.
So if any deductions or cuts need to be made, that needs to go in front of the school board and the community. Chuck just hopes that we don't have to get to that point. For now, I'm live here in Denver. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
Brianna, thank you. Denver Public Schools is clearing up some confusion it caused for thousands of families. On Monday, the district accidentally sent an email to about 85,000 parents warning them their child hadn't returned a Chromebook and that they could be charged $400 if it wasn't turned in by the end of the day. That message was only meant for 95 families. DPS sent a correction less than an hour later saying the original email went out to the wrong list by mistake. The district says the team responsible simply clicked the wrong distribution list.
Democratic Congressman Jason Crow says that ICE refused to let him into their detention facility in Aurora to perform legally allowed congressional oversight. He says that violates federal law. Crow was turned away Sunday while trying to make one of his regular oversight visits. The Department of Homeland Security and ICE claimed that he needed to give at least 7 days notice. However, Crow says a recent federal law does not require him to give any heads up.
The reason for that is because around the country, when members of Congress would announce or say in advance that they were going to come to visit, things got cleaned up, they got changed. We noticed changes that had been implemented just in the last 24 hours. So that's why these unannounced visits were so important.
In a statement, ICE told us that it needs to maintain security protocols to promote the safety of staff, detainees, and the local community.
Homeland Security and immigration agents are getting their hands on the information of some Coloradans with help from the state government despite state law limiting that cooperation. Through an open records request, we found out that the state has shared information with Homeland Security on 3 occasions in February and March. Homeland Security asked for employment records for at least 3 Coloradans. Each subpoena listed a different reason for the request, all for some sort of investigation. Colorado law is supposed to prevent sharing with Homeland Security unless there is a judge's order or a criminal investigation. An administrative subpoena from Homeland Security is not necessarily proof of a criminal investigation.